Hey, it's your Wisconsin wine guy, and if you follow me, you already know who I am. But you see these wines here, but this is going to be kind of different. I'm going to tell you about something that I've been doing for quite a few years now, and I decided this year to share it with you. I call this a wine purge. And this is just a very small sample of wines that I'm going to be purging. And here's what that's about. Every year, I look back for 10 plus year old wines, and I begin to just start opening up wine, and tasting to discover, is it still good? Does it taste as good or better than when I originally had the wine? Did I wait too long? For those who save wines, even if you have, the optimum temperature, you don't know what that wine is like in that bottle until you open it. Even if you're saving it at optimum temperature, it may be that one bottle in that case that was the bad bottle to begin with, right? Right? But you won't know until you open the wine, and then as you begin to age, you have all these wines, and your wine, you start noticing that your wine drinking has gone down, and you have all these wines, and sometimes you don't have anybody to share them with. So I like to go through and do a purge, my wines, so I can keep them current. I started this several years ago, and this was like in 2007, 6 or 7 when I did my first purge. And the oldest wines that I had in my collection at that time, I had way more wines. Then it was 1983, and it was a 1983 Sebastiani Merlot. It was phenomenal. I'm just gonna say it was phenomenal. It was so phenomenal that I called them. I emailed them at 1 o'clock in the morning, and just drunk email, tell them about this wine, blah 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 blah. So sometimes you come across wines in your cellar that you hadn't seen in a long time, because you just keep stacking and stacking and stacking unless you go down and just look at your wines and rearrange, or if you have some type of tracking system on your computer. Well, I don't do the whole computer tracking thing. I just like to go down, look at my wines, and rearrange and order. So what I decided to do was share my purges with you. As you can see, here's a smaller start. We're looking at 2005s here. Make sure this is 2005s and 2008s, maybe some 2004s, but 2005, 2008 vintages of wines here. That's pretty old wine, all things considered. So here's what the purges will be about. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the wine. And some of these wineries have been bought out, or some of the wineries don't even exist anymore. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the winery, tell you a little bit about the vintage when I originally had it, what it tastes like, what it was like to me. Open the wine. I may decant the wine. We'll see how it goes. I may decant maybe some of the wine. Taste it decanted and taste it undecanted, and give you my opinion on both. And so we're going to include that as well. And I'll also, for this purge, for this year's purge, and going forward, and every year I'm going to do that, but going forward, I'm contemplating maybe adding guests on the show, going live and adding guests when I do the purge, and then hopefully they have some wines that they want to purge as well. It's going to be like maybe 3 or 4 guests max, including myself, maybe 3 and 4 total. So we're going to take so much time, and then we each get a chance to talk about our wines and tell everybody about their wines and drink the wine, and then give an honest opinion on what you think about that wine. Now, also we're talking about storage. Now, I will tell you this: I've moved a couple of times over the years. I went from a couple of thousand bottle storage, down to maybe a few hundred now, and I'm trying to condense it even more, right? Because I don't drink as much wine as I used to, right? There you go. And wine is a lot different today than what it was then. Like for example, this wine at the time when I had this one was probably retailed at $25. Okay, this wine here is probably retailed at like maybe $40. This is probably retailed at about maybe $60. This is probably retailed again at about maybe $60, $65. Okay. So wine is a lot different now. You can find a lot of everyday wines, which is why I do the everyday, wine review. You can find a lot of everyday wines, if you not want to have, proper storage conditions for your wines. You just want to just simply enjoy wines, But I'm going to introduce this purge to you and bring all of you in on my purge, our purging of wines that are 10 plus years old. So look forward to that. I'm going to set some dates so you know when it's coming up. Again, I would like to go live myself. In addition to inviting guests, up to 3 guests, will just be 4 of us. So you get a chance to watch that purge and listen to some of the opinions about different wines. Who knows? Maybe myself, one of the purges, or maybe one of you may have one of the wines in the same year that I have, and we'll be talking about the same wine. So there you have it. So it's your Wisconsin Wine Guy, and you look forward to more information coming up with the purge. I'll have the dates. They'll be up on YouTube saying, hey, this is happening on this day, so you'll be able to tune in and check it out. And as always, let your palate be the guide.